Live from Peabody Place in downtown Memphis. This is News Channel 3 Live at 9 with Alex Coleman and Mary Beth Conley.
Welcome back to News Channel 3 Live at 9. There is a new name creating quite a buzz in the writing world. Frank Foster first made a name for himself as a successful entrepreneur, starting several companies. But after years in the business world, he's gone back to his first love, writing.
And his first novel, Boca Moon, is a gripping murder mystery set in a very familiar place for Frank, a tropical island village in Florida. Frank, welcome to Live at 9.
Thank you.
Good to see you this morning.
Pleasure to be here.
Before we even get into the book, businessman, entrepreneur, CEO, and now author, kind of an interesting transition there.
Well, it is. You know, when I went off to college, I exempted all the English courses.
Right.
So I majored in
business.
Right.
Numbers.
I'm not complaining. Had a great life, but I never lost my love for the written word. And when I had my companies, I always did all the writing.
Really? That's unusual.
I wrote my own ad copy.
Did you?
Business plans, model proposals. And if somebody had a really tough letter to write, they came to me to help them.
Really?
So you knew you had a gift for writing.
I was one of the few people who liked it. So when I had more time on my hands, it just had to come out.
And it's a bit like being an entrepreneur in that when you were writing, you didn't know that a publisher would fall in love with it, as they have, that buyers would buy. You know, is there
more
that
likely,
mindset too?
Most folks know that a publisher's not going to.
Right, that's true.
The barrier to entry to the thing I'm doing now is probably the lowest of any industry out there. Anybody with a laptop who's read a book and says to themselves, I can do that.
Right.
I'm a writer.
Right.
But, you know, it's like the PGA Tour. There's just, 100 of them that are making any money?
Right.
And, you know, how many millions out there who can shoot in the 60s, right? Well, there must be, there's no way to know, but millions easily of writers out there who are trying to get published and can't.
Right.
So talk to us about the book, if you would, here.
The book is based on it's set in a tropical island on southwest Florida. People in Boca Grande call it the real Boca.
Oh.
Not the one on the East Coast named after a rat.
Right, Boca Raton.
That's right. This is Boca Grande,
So
the
this
real
is on
Boca.
the West Coast. Where is
That's
it? Near what?
It's just south of Fort Myers.
Oh, so it's very south.
And I beg your pardon, just north of Fort Myers and just south of Sarasota, Venice.
Okay.
And Boca Grande Pass empties a huge body of water there called Charlotte Harbor.
So you live part of the year in Florida. Is that where you live?
Lakeland, Florida, right in the middle of the state is my hometown.
So how did you choose?
For many years, we had a home at Boca Grande, and we'd go tearing down there every weekend. When our kids were growing up, we'd pick them up at junior high school. 2 hours later, we're there out fishing in the back bays.
And we mentioned earlier a gripping murder mystery. Tell us a little bit about that without giving away too much.
Well, I have a rather interesting protagonist, female, second-generation Chinese-American girl who was a Navy hard hat diver. Navy SEALs don't take females. She's still furious about that. And she went into naval intelligence, got out of that, and went to Boca Grande and opened a back bay nature tour business.
So she's an unusual girl.
Very. And her commanding officer in naval intelligence vacations on the island with his daughter and son-in-law. Now, I'll just let this slip out. The son-in-law gets murdered.
Rather gruesomely.
That's right. And Lynn becomes an amateur sleuth and assists with the investigation. And she's helped by some other characters, continuing characters. By the way, this is my first book, and it's the first in a series.
Good.
And the characters will continue. Lynn Wu, her artist, germ freak, Howard Hughes syndrome boyfriend, Rolf Berglund, who is kind of a wealthy guy who's, you know, taken up another career. He's a nationally recognized watercolorist. And her best island friend is a mammoth sheriff's deputy, 6'6", 290, named Truck Kershaw. That was his high school
Truck.
football nickname.
I like those names there, that's for sure. They definitely stand out.
So you've got a Chinese American, a germ-phobic, Howard Hughes reclusive kind of artist.
That's right.
And a guy named Truck.
That's right. But I'm not finished.
Group.
Not finished.
Oh, Lord.
There are two prominent characters in the book who are full-blooded Seminole Indians.
Mm-hmm.
So you did a lot of research.
I did.
To get this right.
I did. And there is a relationship, too. There's a component of the story that has to do with the Calusa Indians who lived in that area before the folks from Europe came over and actually caused them to be extinct because they brought diseases that these people had no immunity to.
So you'll get a little history lesson as well.
Everything there in one book, and you'll have your chance to meet Mr. Frank Foster. His book signing is tonight at 6 o'clock at Davis Kid Booksellers.
It's 5 to 7, I think.
Does it start at 5?
Yeah, 5 to 7, but my remarks will be
Okay, we'll definitely be there by 6.
Yeah, just show up this evening. Frank will be there.
I'm going to make some remarks, and the fun part always is the question and answer.
Absolutely.
And I always look forward to that.
All right, Frank, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you being here this morning.
It's a delight. Thank you.
All right. Coming up, more music from Voodoo Village and featuring Mr. Donald O'Connor. We'll be right back.